Hello everyone, welcome to EBM Scholars, and today I'm going to talk about coronavirus, and I want to draw a lesson from what is going on right now, and especially I'll be talking about the case in America and what does that mean to the rest of the world, especially my colleagues in Africa. There are two important things I'll be talking on this particular video. Number one is, why do we have a bigger number of cases? People are testing positive every single day compared to other parts of the world. That will be number one. But secondly, why we have noticed now there is a very big number of people with African American background or black people in America are dying because of the coronavirus. Welcome everyone. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM. The disclaimer of the video: I'm not a medical professional of any kind. What I'm talking is certain things some of the medical professionals have mentioned about it, and some is just the reality which we know we live in here in America. So when the pandemic COVID-19 started, there was a very big misconception, and especially for Africans and blacks in general around the world. Majority of people, I don't know, they were at the beginning because majority of people who were having testing positive and people who were losing their life were Asian and white. So black people excluded themselves, assuming that this disease does not affect black people, and it was a very big thing. And people started putting a lot of fake news into the internet that black people don't get this disease. Later, we saw a certain number of people who are black who are getting this disease. Then the narrative changed. Oh, they don't die. Later, we have seen there is a bigger number. And recently, we saw yesterday on the news, they showed in Chicago, almost 70% of people who are testing positive, African American, are dying because of this disease. So, what has changed? And why there is a bigger number? And what is that a lesson to my colleagues in Africa? That will be the very important part of this particular video. So let me explain first of all, overall, why do we now have a bigger number of people testing positive in America? Okay, unlike China, I don't want to talk about detail about China, but if you go into detail, there are so many things people are talking about. The data is not correct. That's not the purpose of this particular video. But here in America, we see a bigger number of people are testing positive is because we are testing many people per day. Every single day, there is a minimum of 100,000 people are getting tested. So there are so many testing centers, drive-through, at the parking lot. There are so many areas people can take these tests. Therefore, if you test 100,000 people, obviously you are going to get many people who are testing positive. And this is affecting, when it comes to Africa, they have to get a lesson. Why I say this will be a lesson to Africa? Because in Africa, we say, oh, we have 2 cases in Burundi, or we have 5 cases in this particular country. We have 25 cases in this particular country. But in reality, the question to ask yourself is, how many people have you tested? The good thing, for instance, Kenya, I like Kenya because they have started giving the actual data that we have tested this number of people today, and this is the number of people we have got them positive, and these are negative. That gives people to understand when we say we have 20 cases, when we say we have 50 cases out of how many people you have tested that particular day. Because I've seen in many African countries, what they do is, I go there, already I'm sick. When I'm sick, they test me is positive. They ask me question, who have you met? Oh, I met my wife, I met my kids, I met this taxi driver. They are going to test that particular person. But instead of going to a big city and go to do a mass testing like how they are doing in other countries of developed world. I'm thankful for Jack Ma, the founder and the CEO of the Alibaba, by giving a lot of support to Africa for all those 20,000, 50,000 masks and testing equipment, ventilators, all those kind of things. They are very, very helpful. They are going to save millions of lives. So the biggest thing is here in America is because there are so many people are tested every single day. Mass testing is here. But in many countries in Africa, we are testing fewer people. We are testing maybe 100 people per day. or maybe 500 people, obviously you'll have fewer people. But if you test maybe 10,000 people per day, you'll have more cases. So let's not assume that, oh, we don't have cases in our country. It's because you haven't tested many people. That's number one. The second part is about the bigger number of people who are losing life, who are dying because of this one. And most of them currently we see here in America is African American or black people. Why so many black people are dying? So the biggest factor, and even Dr. Fushi explained it today, which I knew and I already told it to some people in various WhatsApp groups. I've explained to some people because people were asking why this is happening. Majority of black people here in America, we know we don't follow a special certain things. We assume, just like in Africa, we usually say, oh, these things are for white people, these things are for rich people. So even here in America, there are people, especially black people. I'm not saying in a bad way, but I'm just saying in a normal way. When you look like a lot of people, like most of black people don't live 60 years old. Majority of people, they are dying at the age of 40 to 50, majority of black people. And most of them, they are dying because of the diseases like heart diseases, high blood pressure in general, a lot of diseases like things related to sugar, diabetes. There are so many things related to the way of people are eating, or just related to, I don't know whether it's genetics or DNA, I don't know. But because of eating this fast food, deep fried food, like not, I don't know, sometimes we think that eating well diet is something about rich people, is about white people. So those are the things they are affecting a lot of African American here, or black people in general here in America. So it's very easy to gain weight. It's very easy to get these diseases. And the majority of black people don't have the culture of doing annual checkup to check to see if they have any medical condition. So for that case, you find out a lot of African American, even if they're not 50 years old, they already have immune system which is compromised. So if you get the coronavirus, obviously it's going to be hard for you to recover from that. That's why you see there are so many people, African American, now are dying. So the same lesson we need to get from Africa. So let's take it serious. Let's forget about saying, oh, this is for white people. It's for everybody. Coronavirus doesn't care what is your race. But the west part of Africa, which I'm getting scared of, even Bill Gates is talking about it every single day, is because the majority of people do not know what medical condition do they have, what immune system are they having, strong immune system, what kind of disease do you have. There are some people, they have blood pressure, they do not know they have blood pressure. There are some people that have diabetes, they do not know. There are people that have pneumonia, they have other diseases, they do not know. Because it's not, it's not the culture to go to do medical check. Majority of people do not do that. So you'll find out if this disease comes to many people might be, they might die in Africa because they do not know if you have immune problem or if you have some sort of like certain kind of allergies. You do not know what will be reaction. So that is one of the big part. But the second part is we need to take it serious. We have to get away from the jokes like this is for white people. This disease is not for African. We are so strong. We are eating cassava. We are eating ginger. We are eating whatever. So we cannot get sick. This disease doesn't care what you eat. It gets away. It gets to the rich people. It gets to the poor people. But it is the worst situation to the poor people because you might not have a good medical system. So let's take it very, very serious and learn from our colleagues, our black people here in America, how people we are going through. So eat well, make sure that you have good, strong immune. Make sure that if you have insurance, try to do a medical check to see what kind of medical problems you are having. Things of that nature, it is better to know for yourself. And overall, even if the governments in our countries, they tell you do 1, 2, 3, 4, just go beyond and go into a medical profession. Sometimes politicians, a president can say, or a minister can say, a department secretary can say, okay, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, but you know for sure there is another advice from medical professional. So combining both of the two and see it's your responsibility to protect yourself, and it's your responsibility to protect others. So even if your job requires you to go to work, you cannot stay at home. Finish work, come home. Find different ways, like not after work, then you are going to the bar, going to just hang out with other people. Try to save yourself and take it very, very serious. So remember, there are so many people in Africa have this coronavirus. But because we don't do mass testing, we see very, very few people are having this one. And the majority of the governments in Africa, they are lying. They don't have the data sometimes. They don't have equipment. So you can go to the villages. If someone gets the corona in the village, how do you know the person is having coronavirus? Some people are dying. You say, oh, this person maybe is witchcraft. It's not witchcraft. This is a very serious problem. We need to take it serious, and we have to learn from how many black people here in America, and overall, the world is suffering from this one. The entire world economy is in trouble. Our entire life system has changed. So what are you going to do to make sure that you save yourself and protect others, your relatives, and the community, and your country at large? That is what I want to share in this particular video. So thank you so much, everyone, for your support, and continue watching my YouTube channel. This is EBM, Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and goodbye, everyone.